A surprising fact most people don't realize is that losing money can sometimes teach you more than making it, but only if you do it the right way. Imagine spending $10,000 on purpose, not by mistake, not by bad luck, but by choice, and then realizing it completely changed how you see money, risk, and success. Sounds crazy, right? Today we will talk about I blew $10,000 on purpose. Here's what it really taught me. So, before we start, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to my channel. 10. Money exposes your habits. The first thing I learned is simple but powerful. Money doesn't change who you are. It shows who you are. When I started spending without holding back, my habits became impossible to hide. The way I thought, the way I made decisions, even the small excuses I used to justify bad choices, it all came out clearly. I noticed how easily I said it's fine, or I'll fix it later, even when I knew it wasn't smart. That's when I understood something important. If your habits are weak, more money won't fix them. It will only make them bigger and more dangerous. Good habits grow your money quietly, but bad habits drain it fast. And the worst part is, you don't always notice it until the damage is already done. This experience forced me to face my own patterns and realize that controlling your habits is more important than increasing your income. 9. Expensive doesn't mean better. Spending more doesn't always give you more value, and this lesson hit harder than I expected. I paid high prices thinking I was choosing the best option, believing that higher cost meant higher quality. But again and again I found myself disappointed. Some things looked premium but didn't deliver anything special. Others were overpriced just because of branding or hype. That's when I started to understand the difference between price and value. Just because something is expensive doesn't mean it's worth it. Real value comes from how useful something is, how long it lasts, and how much it actually improves your life. 8. Emotions can destroy your money. A big part of that $10,000 was spent based on feelings, not logic, and that's where things started going wrong. There were moments when I felt excited and wanted something right away, moments when I felt pressure to keep up, and even times when I was just bored and looking for a quick dopamine hit. In those moments, spending felt easy and justified. I told myself things like I deserve this or it's not a big deal. But those small emotional decisions added up fast. What I realized is that emotions don't feel dangerous in the moment, they feel normal. That's what makes them risky. When you're not aware of them, they quietly take control of your money. 7. Quick decisions are usually expensive. The faster I made decisions, the more money I lost. And it wasn't a coincidence. Every time I rushed into something, I skipped the important thinking process. I didn't compare options, I didn't check if I really needed it, and I didn't consider the long-term impact. I just acted in the moment. And almost every time, I ended up regretting it. What this taught me is simple. Speed is the enemy of smart money decisions. Taking a little extra time, sometimes just a few minutes or a day, can completely change your choice. 6. Most things don't add real happiness. I truly believed that spending more money would make me feel better. And for a short time it actually did. There's always that small rush when you buy something new. That feeling of excitement like you've improved your life. But the truth is, that feeling doesn't last. It fades faster than you expect. After a while, the excitement disappears. And you're left exactly where you started, just with less money. That's when it really hit me. Most of the things we buy don't create real, lasting happiness. They only give temporary satisfaction. Real happiness comes from things that don't fade so quickly, like growth, stability, and peace of mind. 5. You pay for what you don't know. A big part of losing that money came from one simple problem. I didn't know enough. And the truth is, lack of knowledge is always expensive. Every time I rushed into something without fully understanding it, I ended up paying the price. Sometimes it was small mistakes, other times it was bigger losses, but they all came from the same place: ignorance. I didn't take the time to learn, to ask questions, or to look deeper. I just assumed things would work out. And that assumption cost me. What I realized is that every gap in your knowledge becomes a risk to your money. The less you understand, the easier it is to make bad decisions. Learning may feel slow and boring, but it's always cheaper than fixing mistakes later. 4. Easy money thinking is dangerous. At some point during this experience, I started thinking like money was easy to replace. And that's when things got worse. I told myself I could always earn it back, that losing a little didn't really matter. That mindset made me careless. I stopped paying attention to details. I stopped questioning my decisions, and I became more comfortable with risk than I should have been. When you believe money is easy, you stop respecting it. And when you stop respecting it, you start losing it faster than you realize. Money requires attention, discipline, and responsibility. It doesn't grow by chance. It grows by control. 3. Discipline beats income. One of the clearest lessons from all of this is that income alone doesn't protect you. You can earn a lot of money and still lose it quickly if you don't have discipline. I saw it firsthand. No matter how much I had, without control, it kept disappearing. Discipline is what creates stability. It's what helps you say no when something looks tempting but isn't necessary. It's what keeps your spending in check even when you can afford more. Without discipline, money flows out as easily as it comes in. But with discipline, even a smaller income can grow over time. 2. Loss can be a powerful teacher. Losing that money wasn't easy. It hurt. There's no way around that. But at the same time, it forced me to face my mistakes and actually learn from them. And that's something most people avoid. They lose money, feel bad about it, and then move on without understanding what went wrong. But loss, when you pay attention to it, becomes one of the best teachers you can have. Every mistake carries a lesson, but only if you're willing to look at it honestly. What I learned here stayed with me because I experienced the consequences directly, and that's powerful. 1. Awareness changes everything. The biggest lesson of all wasn't about money itself. It was about awareness. Once I started paying attention to how I think, how I spend, and why I make certain decisions, everything began to change. Before that, most of my actions were automatic. I didn't question them. I didn't analyze them. I just followed habits without thinking. But awareness breaks that cycle. It forces you to slow down and actually see what you're doing. And once you see it clearly, you can change it. Awareness turns mistakes into lessons, and lessons into growth. Without it, you keep repeating the same patterns again and again, without even realizing it. But with it, every decision becomes more intentional. And that's where real improvement begins. Not just in money, but in every part of your life. What do you think about our video? Let me know in the comments below. Before you go, leave a like and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.